Hey there, Robert. Get a little go Habs go. We're gonna get started shortly. Just getting. I got my It's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day, by the way, Karen. Happy Mother's Day to you, Karen. It's Mother's Day. I hope your son's still in town. I hope your son did something nice for you. I just had my mom and my mother-in-law over. We had a lovely time, but I'm very, very sleepy at this point, and so I've got a Guinness Zero. I'm gonna try a Guinness Zero. I'm not gonna try. I've had a Guinness Zero, but I'm gonna have a Guinness Zero tonight to get me back in the back in the saddle. I think Kapanen should be in over Veleno. Is he? Hold on. Let me get my lines here. If I'm singing today, it's because I'm low energy and I need the energy. These don't look like the real lions, I gotta say. These are the lines. Yeah, no Captain's not back. Same lines. I mean, they did win 5-1. He's autistic, so he did it his way. Hey, all that matters is that you guys spent time together, right? So hopefully you spent a little time together, and that's really all that counts, I think, in the end. You slept till noon, so you're good, Ed, and you're on West Coast time, so you're nice and rested here tonight. Love it. We need this win. The Bell Center's going to go crazy. I think. Oh, this is perfect. Kelly Morgan's actually saying exactly what I was going to say. Danny Galvin used to say, "What a glorious opportunity for the Habs to take the lead in the series." I don't think that this is a must-win by any means. I still think the Habs are going to win the series no matter what. But I will say the trail of victory is so much easier if they win tonight compared if they don't win tonight, who knows? You know, this might go 7. If they win tonight, I just feel like Buffalo's a young team, man. I don't know if they've got the gumption to get back in it. You don't change winning lineups unless there's an injury. That's basically pretty good pretty good words to live by. Laval lost after a scrum in the Toronto net led to a 4-4. How is the faceoff in Laval's? I did not watch the game. Um, Very unfortunate. A big upset. Obviously, Laval are out. Um, it's fun. It's funny if that. Look, I still think that GMs are going to go call in for Pascal Vincent this offseason, but it would be very funny if if that early exit maybe ensures he stays. Hey, Mark. Good on Hockey Inside Out for bringing the live blob back. Now we need Mike Boone back. I should hit up Mike Boone. Mike, maybe he'll want to do it in this format. I will say, Mike Boone, as far as I know, is doing a-okay. He is very comfortably enjoying retirement, though, so maybe hard to bring him, but he's always welcome, of course, as is my predecessor in Julian McKenzie. Julian McKenzie, of course. Julian McKenzie, who's at the Athletic now, lovely, lovely gent, who was here before me. And then I also had Andrew Berkshire replace me a couple times when I was unavailable, so he's also part of the extended family. So Andrew Berkshire, if you're watching, you're always welcome to pop in. You're always welcome to say hello. Big fan of the legend. He is a legend, and I will say, Mark. We've had some trials and tribulations. Oh my God, my Guinness is my Guinness Zero is popping here. This live blog has always had you know the corporate suits have not always understood the live blog, but I think in respect and deference to Mike Boone, I have strived to do whatever I can to keep it going and keep this lovely family of Habs fans intact. Hashtag the Habs Empire. I love it. Doesn't Julian cover the Ottawa Senators? Now, he does indeed for The Athletic. He went over to The Athletic and covered the Calgary Flames for a bit, and now he's doing Ottawa. He's getting closer to home. You know, and one day, hopefully, maybe he'll be the guy in Montreal. I would love to see it. There is no one nicer, and no one more talented in this biz than Julian McKenzie. Let me tell you what, it's a privilege to know him. My brother, a non-hockey fan, told me he and his teenage girl streamed the playoff game since Game One in Tampa. Really, Mike Boone? Oh man, you gotta show us the link. I'd love to see that. That's fun. Who's carrying the torch? I don't know. It's a surprise. Could it be PK Subban? He was in town on Friday. I'm sure you guys saw in the news. PK Subban um, completed his $10 million donation pledge to the Children's Hospital. They had a little ceremony for him. You can read the article and watch some videos on the Gazette. But yeah, our buddy PK Subban was back on Friday for that, and I think he's for more or less back in the good graces of the organization after obviously some tumultuous times during the previous regime. But I do wonder if PK will be the man tonight to hold the torch. Uh, in some respects, he'd be a controversial pick, but I do think that when I think of players that could get the Bell Center alive and electric. Um, PK would be one of the few that could do it like no other. And I feel like when they picked Chris Nyland was I think an unconventional choice as well because he's not a Hall of Famer. Typically, they have just kind of like let's bring out the Hall of Famers, the guys you know and love. But as we get a little, as time progresses, we don't have as many guys from those peak, even from the peak '70s era. I know a lot of you guys are from that peak era, but as you know, there's not as many of them left, and they're trying to bring some new blood into the alumni, uh, bring some guys that you love back in the fold, and I do wonder if PK Subban would be a nice full circle moment for the Canadians. Let bygones be bygones. He's already like come back and has been in a good. Knuckles is a cup winner, so that is the one rub about PK. Obviously, that he's not a cup winner. So do you abide by that rule that they have to win the cup? I think at some point they're gonna have to not do that because obviously unless the Canadians win the cup very soon and then they can maybe just skip. But there's a couple generations of Habs. Like if Saku Koivu came out and did it, Saku never won a cup, but I think people would love Saku. Shane Corson would be good. Max, for reasons mostly to do with the legal issues plaguing his son at the moment. I think unfortunately Shane, regardless how the organization feels about Shane, I do feel like uh, that'll be the case. Chris Chelios would be interesting. I will say I think the Chris Chelios thing is more his side? Like, would Chris want to? I feel like Chris has spent more time being a Blackhawks alumnus and a Red Wings alumnus, and I don't know if he's shared that same kind of love for the Habs as he has done for those organizations. Patrick Waugh is a definite possibility. He's no longer with the Islanders, so I don't think he'll feel strange wearing a Canadiens jersey. Bob Gainey is always a possibility, obviously a legend, and if the series goes, if these playoffs go on pretty long and they go to the next round, I definitely think you'll see him at some point. Kirk Muller is another nice option. I like it. I like it. I assume LR is Larry Robinson. Larry Robinson is like Larry Robinson and Bob Gainey would be like the guys Carbo Donfus brings somebody from the '93 team. We haven't had a '93 team guy. Ray Jean Houle is another alumnus who's we've seen quite a bit. Steve Shutt for sure. I wish John Ferguson was still alive. What about Alex Kovalev? He won a cup, not for us though. But honestly, Kovalev would make that place explode too. People loved Kovalev. No, PK would not be the right person to carry the torch. Please give me a break. I think Carey might carry it in. Yes, Carey Price is another good option. Is another good option. Saku Koivu would be fun. I'd love to see it. Scotty Bowman, I think they should bring Scott. I don't think Scotty Bowman should hold the torch because he is like 92, 93. Maybe you don't have the 92, 93-year-old man hold a flammable, but you know what? He should be here. He should be invited. Uh, Andre Kostitsyn? I I like Andre. I like Andre Kostitsyn. Let's do it. Let's bring Alexei Emlin. Price never won a cup. Yeah, that's an interesting question, Max. Are they going to uh, at some point not do that? Because I mean, if they got to do this for the rest of the playoffs, sure, there's lots of guys from the '93 Cup that could do it, from the '86 Cup, but at a certain point, I do think the alumni, um, under the stewardship of I guess Patrice Brisebois is the main alumni guy now. I do think they're trying to bring newer guys into the fold, and that will, of course, because they haven't won a cup in 30 years, will involve players who didn't win the cup in Montreal. And I think that they're going to, I think they're going to maybe step away from that sort of mentality of like it's got to be a cup guy because they're not at a certain point. They're not going to be if they can't win a cup anytime soon. They're not going to be. There's not going to be that many guys left, and I don't think they're going to want to like not have a rich alumni group. Hey, she 26. I agree that it would be great to see Price. Yeah, I'd love to see Carey Price. Let's do it. Let's do it. You have to have a cup, in my opinion, Max. Says I yeah, I think like that would be the preference, but again, I do think that they're going to start expanding the alumni outward as they want to have guys like Saku and PK in the fold. Madame Beliveau. So Karen, here's and you're not going to like this, Karen, but Elise Beliveau and PK Subban are still very close. I do wonder if maybe PK holds the torch but comes out with Elise Beliveau. How would you feel about that? That would be a full circle moment. Madame Beliveau carried her. Again, I don't think she's going to carry the torch, but I do think that she could be there. That's also a possibility. You know what I mean? Carrying a torch, I think it's pretty heavy and flammable. Andre and Sergey. Maybe for a game in like February. We'll bring him back for a February game. Galchenyuk can join them. Downtown must be nuts right now. We've got a couple of journalists out there. If you guys are on Twitter, follow Harry North and Brendan Kelly. They're both out in the streets right now watching, and be interesting to see. PK is a clown. I don't know. I know that PK is a controversial guy. I like PK. I think he's a big game player. He's a bit of a loudmouth, but you know what? He's fun. Great at hockey. He was great for the Habs. He made some very not that great teams very exciting, and yeah, I got nothing. I like BK. They added a third screen outside the Bell Center. They sure did. They sure did. That would be so cheesy. PK and Elise or just Elise? The clown lived up to his word for the hospital. It's no laughing matter. Yeah, you know what? Subban was never a team player, even in junior. Yeah, his game was man, some of you guys really don't like Karen. You don't like PK either. Damn, both Karens don't like PK. Max doesn't like PK. Damn, you guys are taking me back to the Bergevin, taking me back to the Bergevin years here, where it's like we just want our lunch pail guys. I don't know. PK was fun. He brought a lot of fun to this organization, and he was good. And he was good for the. He played well. He was good for the team, and no, I have no like strong feelings about the Shea Weber trade. They wanted to shake up the team. Shea Weber was great too. Um, PK had back problems, and his career faded a lot faster than expected. Tage Thompson hat trick tonight. He was really bad on Friday, and the Buffalo News reporter basically just came out and said he's hurt. So I'm not saying a hat trick for Tage Thompson will not happen tonight, but if he might be hurt. So Neuron 888, I want you to be aware that he may be hurt and that may be affecting his play. So if Tage Thompson was 100% healthy and you said he was going to score a hat trick tonight, I'd be like, yeah, definite possibility. He's a great player, but it seems like he's hurt and he really struggled on Friday. So it'll be interesting to see which Tage Thompson comes out. He had talent very much, but he was only in it for himself. That's hard to I find hard to say because he was very sort of what do they call it, extroverted. That was somewhat the perception of it, but ultimately at the end of the day, I do think he was a good player and a good teammate. He made some mistakes. He played a high octane game, but I don't know. What would make this season a success? Personally, I take the conference final appearance as the benchmark. Carolina looks unstoppable. Even T Bay could qualify as a successful season. Morgan, I think this season is already pretty successful. I think if they end up losing to the Sabres, I'd be a little disappointed because from what I've seen from the first two games, I do think they're better than the Sabres. So like I think that they can beat them. I think Carolina is if if they go with Carolina, just get their asses whooped. I don't consider the season unsuccessful. Like Carolina is just insane. They're so good. They're gonna have 2 weeks off. They basically didn't lift a finger, beat the Flyers, and have 2 weeks off. Whereas the Canadians are gonna like kill themselves in another series here. So you know what? We'll see what's up. I know that they were close, but that was years ago. This is Elise and PK. When he joined ESPN, he was given assignments to report on Cole, and he pretended he knew everything. He called him Coalfield throughout. I will say that when Brendan Kelly, my colleague, interviewed Elise, like I think it was 3 years ago, she said they were still. She said she still loved him and watched his Nashville games. So I do think that there's still a lot of appreciation there. Habs to agree there. Carolina are three players, but they're on vacation here. Yeah. I mean, the Flyers were not much of a competition for them. Neither would have Pittsburgh, but I thought Ottawa was going to be a little bit better, and then they didn't have a chance. They didn't have a chance in hell. Talking about on ice presence, you're talking about PK. Anyways, we don't actually know if PK is going to raise the thing. I think we win the series. Hey, Mark, by the way. Yeah, I think so too. I thought they played not. I didn't think they played to lose against Buffalo. I thought they just took a couple of bad penalties, um, and had made some mistakes that Buffalo took advantage of. And then I thought they just whooped them in the last game. So I think Carolina would beat Buffalo in 5 max. I think Carolina beats Buffalo in 3. No, kidding. But it's wild. It's like Carolina just seems whichever team Montreal or Buffalo goes in the next round, good luck. Good luck. We are better than the Sabres. That is kind of my vibe too after the last game. So it becomes to a thing where it's like, you were asking before, is this season just like what's a benchmark for like a successful season here? I think I would be disappointed if they didn't beat the Sabres. I don't necessarily think it's not a success if they don't beat them, but they're beatable. So you got to beat the guys you can beat. You know what I mean? If they go into Carolina game one and get whooped, and I'm like, well, whatever. This is where it ends. I'll always believe Tampa gave us game four in 2001. 2021, you mean? Muller with the torch. That could be. It's Muller? It sure is. That's a good one. That's classic. That's classic. Kirk Muller it is. I like that. That's good. Muller's not very exciting, Mark says, but you know what? The guy won a cup, and he hasn't been back to too many things, so it's kind of fun. That's a good pick. It's a good pick. Knuckles was such a great pick, though. Man, you're not gonna top Knuckles. Big Muller guy. He was great. He wasn't. He was here for a good time, not a long time, but Muller was good. Okay, you guys are feeling. You're feeling that. Yeah. Hey, Rick. You're gonna have to let us know in the intermission how Buffalo was. And yes, happy Mother's Day to everybody and to your mothers. And if you're a mother, to you. If you've got a mother, even if you don't. Nothing but love. So the lineup's the same as last game, by the way. Just FYI. Well, there's Elise. So she's here tonight. Listen to the audience. Hot take tonight from Ellison was the man. Valeno gets on the goal. I mean, he seems like he'd be a good playoff performer, right? Ole before the game is permitted. Okay. We got to make the rules of this at some point. When do the Habs sing Ole Ole? When is a good time? Going to be a huge first goal. Let's get it. I mean, it changed the entire complexion of the last game, right? Canadians completely astonished Lion and the Buffalo crowd, took them out of the game right away. I think it'll be the opposite tonight, right? If the Canadians can score, the crowd's going to be overwhelming for Buffalo. So they got to just like get in their heads as soon as they can. Hello, Darcy. A good go, Habs go. Gotta go, Habs go. Caulfield has played well his last two games. I mean, there was a post away from a goal that he really ought to have scored. Score first, and the lid might blow off the Bell Center. Ooh, Anderson's getting one too. Everybody's getting in on the atmosphere, getting in on the action. Whereas Mark said, wow, atmosphere. You can feel Cole's going to get one tonight. Will Buffalo be hitting hard tonight? Well, they definitely hit harder in game two. Game one, they didn't hit at all. Game two, they hit a little harder, but they were also chasing the puck a lot. So they might not want to repeat what happened on Friday's game. Line was bad last game, and this is really where Buffalo can really find themselves out of this series in a hurry because Alex Lyon's a career journeyman, red hot since coming in for Luukkonen in Game 2 in the Boston series, but Lyon has a track record where we know that he can be beat. And then Luukkonen, I mean, they pulled him quite early. It'd be quite a lot to bring him back in right away, but they might have to do it. So let's see what happens. All right, we're about to start. Give it a second. How are we doing tonight? I feel like my signal's not too bad tonight. It's a little bit off. We're starting now though. Yeah, that Matheson goal was wild. Missed that one by. That was definitely not the kind of goals you could be giving up in the playoffs. Well, let's see what happens to Tage Thompson because he did not look good last game and then got into it with the Buffalo News reporter after the game about whether he was injured or not. Not a place where you want to be. All right, you guys are feeling Cole Caulfield tonight. Love it. Oh, Habs can't clear, and that is a real softie. Bad clearing attempt. Bad clear, and then it took a bad bounce behind the net, and another minus for that first line that can't seem to get out of trouble. I mean, Cole Caulfield with a really bad chip. That was indeed, Timur, a feeble puck giveaway by Caulfield. That was atrocious. If he doesn't make up for it tonight with a goal, that's just awful. Really awful. That's like the worst way that this could have started, really. First shot. So that goal is coming from Tage Thompson, who somebody came here earlier and predicted that Tage Thompson would score a hat trick tonight. Well, he's 1/3 the way there. Start the game with the Dano line. Do you guys agree? I'm inclined to agree with you now, Ryan. I would have liked to fight fire with fire, but right now, Caulfield and Slavkovsky are not fire. CC got to use the boards to get it out. 101. They look like they were skating in mud. Cold. Jesus. That was bad. Kelly says settle down and tie it up. Matheson and Caulfield. Yeah, it was but Caulfield definitely on the initial play there was really, really bad. All right, well Buffalo came to play here. Buffalo came to play. Our top line is a defensive liability. They were not during the season, I will say, but unfortunately, they have become that, which is like pretty wild. But they were not that during the regular season. This is a pretty fair. Now CC has to get a goal. That is definitely how I see it. If he can't score tonight, if he can't get motivated to score tonight after doing that, hopeless, hopeless, hopeless cause these playoffs. Really like get into crunch time. Oh my goodness. Man, what a nice try by Suzuki. All alone in front. Really nice feed. Lion just kind of came out and swam. Smart way to play it. Sorry for the negativity. We need to be better early at home. No, it's totally fair, Mark. This team is better on the road than at home. And it's kind of infuriating and annoying because they have the best fans in the game. They should be given a show. And they're not. And we have a broken stick causing trouble. That was Pretty brutal by Demidov. Should have just fired. So it's 1-1. 14:40 or so about left in the first. Tage Thompson scored first shot of the game, 53 seconds in. At home, you should always use the checking line against Buffalo's top line. I totally agree. Best fans in the game. You got to get him in there. I know it's. I don't understand. I don't buy the like. Oh, it's too much pressure. Like, come on, y'all can y'all can play through the pressure. I think. Unless you guys are living dramatically in the future, Karen, it's 1-0 Buffalo for me. The series is 1-1. Wait, what are we talking about? No, it's 1-0 Buffalo. The series is 1-1. There you go. The series is 1-1. How on earth can Suzuki miss that? I don't know. Timur Caulfield makes his cap hit is 7.8 or 7.6 or whatever, 7.8. Well, I guess you're talking about the salary part. I don't know what his current salary is. I just know what his cap hit is. There you go. Nice shot, Jack guy. Ah, Caulfield. I mean, they're getting their chances here. Caulfield had a chance, Suzuki had a chance, and Jack with a really nice shot. Lion looking good so far. There you go. Oh, Buffalo getting a little more physical here. Max, we earlier were told that somebody else said it was okay to sing the Ole before the game. We got to figure out the rules here. We got to figure out the Ole Ole rules. Guys, if I write an article about the Ole Ole rules, like when they can actually sing Ole Ole, would you read it? If you promise to read it, I'll write it. But the Canadians will go on a power play. Snake bit. Mark says. I mean, it's getting pretty. It's getting pretty dicey here with Caulfield, man. It's getting hard to figure out. I will admit. Really, Benson completely manhandles Sikorsky. Could be a long night, folks. Man, Benson he's a little guy, but he is the future Brad Marchand, man. Man, Benson might become Brad Marchand 2.0. What a pain in the butt. What a pain in the butt that guy is. Will Slav stand in front of Lyon? That's not where they've had him positioned for the most part. They've had kind of like Suzuki Caulfield kind of in that kind of shuttle spot where they're kind of but we'll see what happens. I think Slav should get there because I think Lyons is definitely susceptible to point shots. I can't believe Laval lost to the Marlies. Karen, what an absolute pain in the butt, man. That was supposed to be a much, much longer playoff run for Laval. Very disappointing. Very disappointing. This is a huge power play. Canadiens need to get their power play going, and this is a great opportunity to do it. The face-off before the Toronto goal shouldn't have been at the Laval zone. Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch. I'm not gonna lie. I did not. I haven't had the chance to really follow through on watching any highlights from that game. Been knee deep in Mother's Day celebrations, so I'll have to check it out later. Slap better wake up tonight. Yeah, for all the talk about Caulfield not performing in these playoffs, I gotta say Slavkovsky not performing, considering where he was at the end of the season, has been incredibly disappointing. Considering that he does not have the same size constraints that Cole Caulfield should have. There's really nothing that should be stopping Slav from getting in the net and being a big pain in the butt in these playoffs, and it's just not happening. And I really can't explain it. I mean, I can hear you can hear the people at the Bell Center yelling "shoot," and my God, just shoot the damn puck, guys. This is pathetic. Stop trying to pass. It hasn't worked all playoffs. This is getting infuriating. Like I just feel like these little tweaks would make the Canadians pretty like unbeatable, and they're just not doing it. Yeah, take it in, Lane. Let's not look for that back pass, please. Nice save by Lyon, though. We are getting our chances, I will say. Ale Habs rather than Ole would go quite a way to solving this prickly problem. Does it work that way? If it works that way, then it works that way. Ole or not to Ole. Back to 5-on-5. That's why we're watching and not on the ice. I know, I know. Nothing's more aggravating than the guys in the crowd yelling shoot. But also, they need to shoot more. Hate the drop pass. The drop pass is not as annoying when it works, but right now it's just they're not getting much done on the power play. Terrible PP. They passed when they had a chance. They passed too much and they didn't shoot. It was really annoying. Gloating is for morons. Who's gloating? I don't hear anybody gloating right now. Caulfield, leery to engage. He's got to get into this game. He very much is the reason that the team is down 1-0 right now. So he's got to figure this out. Oof. Lucky early bounce for Buffalo. We knew they'd play better tonight, but we'll be fine. It is 1-0, by the way. We're past the midway point now of the first period. Tage Thompson scored on the game's first shot about 52 seconds in. Newhook and Doan going at it. Is that going to be a 4-on-4? Looks like it. Newhook by himself with 3 Sabres. Where are his teammates? It was kind of a weird. I think some guys were coming off the ice. Well, Evans went off the ice. I don't think he was expecting. We've had 3 to 4 grade A chances. Eventually, we'll win 2 in a row. Maybe even tonight. I know it hasn't happened yet. The Tampa series was 1-1-1-1-1-1-1 the whole time. I have a bad feeling. I want to be wrong, Karen says. Well, hopefully. I mean, still early. Still early. It is, as you know, 1-0 currently. And it's going to be 4-on-4 hockey for a little bit. Buffalo goal is luck. Far from over. Well, it was a bad clear. The bounce off the end boards was luck, but the initial clear was just bad. It was just bad playing. Get Arbor out of there. Minor once again, the lottery draft was rigged. Shouldn't that be a penalty on Buffalo? They all grabbed Newhook. Well, it's going to be a 4-on-4 instead. Adam Carter at work. Hey, well, thanks for tuning in from work. This is more important than work, isn't it? How's the little fairy boy Caulfield doing? Not great. He's a -1 and bad clear, and then had a scoring chance and did not score at him. So not doing great so far. Lowell Rogers. What happened to Rogers? Like Rogers the channel? Are bad things happening with Rogers? We're gonna get a few past this lion loser. Loser lion. They haven't yet. It's a nice try by Dano earlier, but we're getting chances. I know. Habs are up to 7-4 in shots. But they have not solved. Have not solved. Oh, sorry, it's 8-4. Yeah. Rogers, the guys. Oh, yes, that's right. Because you're talking about the lottery and then Rogers. Yes, Rogers did something to be happy about for their multi-billion-dollar investment. They get a first overall pick to hype up a little bit. Matheson. Well, at least he was able to protect the puck and not give it away, but got stymied at the top of the point. Keep at it, Mark says. We need to get traffic in front. I don't think that I don't think Lion is so good. I agree with you, Mark. Adam, let's let's watch if you want to make fun of Caulfield, say that he's like terrible and crap and poop. You can use poop. You can use the word poop if you want, but let's not you know. 62% win probability for the bad guys. We can't be like the Leaf fans and get on Caulfield. Slumps happen. Look at Mitch Marner now. Yeah, you don't want to run him out of town because I'll tell you what, there's not anything coming after. What's with the hat? That's not the winning hat. Ray-Ban, I wore the Expos Tiffany hat in Game 7 against the Tampa. They won. Adam, you're gonna get banned. Just like, what's wrong with this generation? Be mature. Be mature. Um, so, anyways, what's the hat? So this game, so the Tiffany hat I wore in Game 7, and then I wore it Game 1 against Sabres. They lost, so I changed hat. And then they won Game 2, and then I was like, Nothing of this matters, and I just changed to game 3. We got a USA USA chant. As always, lots of Americans on the Canadiens and lots of Canadians on the Sabres, but it's okay. Cole is getting his chances. Will break through this game. Hopefully. I mean, man, hasn't happened yet. Yeah, seriously, guys. Like, let's you know, Greenway blocks Dobson shot. 10-5 now in shots for the Habs. It's coming, goes Habs go. Timur says not a slump. Caulfield's been a dud through 2 playoff years. Didn't he have 3 goals in the last playoffs? That wasn't too bad last playoffs. Okay, Ray-Ban. Let's oh my god, guys. I don't want I'm not spending my night policing and Newhook has just scored and you made me miss the Newhook goal because y'all were arguing. So let me watch this Newhook goal in peace. I mean, Newhook's pretty wild, man. What he's been able to do here, another goal for Newhook. Pretty remarkable. And it's tied 1-1. And Newhook's scored again. Unbelievable. 4th goal in these playoffs. And Jake Evans, the man who we were all like, second line center. Are you sure about that? He's been mighty good in that. I mean, he's a second line center in name only. Newhook has stolen Cole's powers. I like that. One more, boys. Newhook was no slash with the Avs until he got injured and traded. Yeah, honestly, I think we've all been like impressed. I've said put Newhook into Caulfield's spot, but he's doing fine where he is. Yeah, exactly. At this point, I wouldn't take Newhook off that line. You know what I mean? Anyways, that was a much needed goal there. not a great stretch here, but wait, did they take away the Dobson assist? They may. They may have taken away the Dobson assist. I will say. We do not look confident in playing defense in our zone. Tighten it up, boys. Our decision making goes into slow mo in our own end. Blue compliments Caulfield's defense on that one. Let's get out of this period. Crush them in the second. Love Texier. He's good puck handler in his own zone. He's had a little bit of contributed a nice little amount of offense too for kind of a bottom six guy. He's been all right. I can't hate on him too much. Really nice stuff by Hudson and that whole line. That was a great shift. Anderson line has looked great. The bottom lines have looked pretty good. It's really just been that top line that's really struggled. Texier is good at keeping the play alive. That's a great way to describe his game. He just is like good in the offensive zone at like protecting the puck, keeping it in the zone a little bit longer. Texier has wicked hands. If we keep this up, we'll beat them easily, Ray-Ban says. Mark also says they got to get in front. They definitely do have to get in front. They got to get. I just don't think that Lions is that unbeatable if you get some bodies in front. I'm wearing a Rocket Richard t-shirt and a Carey Price jersey. You got the double Habs going. I love it. Need someone in front when Lane shoots. I know Lane is good at getting the puck through, but they need a body in front. And he must be playing hurt, not hitting as much. Avoiding getting hits, getting a little sore. I mean, the Tampa series was brutal on him, but I thought he had a good game in game two. I thought, but it's been a these been a tough playoffs for like that Tampa series was real tough on him. Lions down. He's dead. He looks like he's dead. No, he's good. Yeah. Once again, happy Mother's Day to all. Love the fact that we gave him an extension. Wait, who are you talking? Who are you talking about extension wise? Oh, Texier. Yeah, yeah. He makes like doesn't get paid too much. Like pretty solid depth player. Our depth is a lot better than the Sabres. Yeah, they don't have like a ton of depth. The Sabres. They're really excited to get Sam Carrick back tonight. Did they get Carrick back tonight in the end? I haven't seen him. He's not that good a player, but yeah, he's in there getting his 2 minutes. Sabres won't go easily, but they're dirty. Yeah, Carrick is dirty. Oh, Tim Timmins though with the punch on Bolduc that kind of ended up hitting Dahlin too. That was funny. Man, seen a lot of Greenway. Seen a lot of Greenway these playoffs. There's a guy who doesn't score bubkiss during the regular season, but once the playoffs hits, lots of him out there. Now we're seeing the game two Habs. Rick Wood says. Buffalo power play after all that. I mean, Bolduc got punched in the face, and he's gonna get 4 minutes for absorbing a punch, basically. I guess they're trying to really protect the goalies here. I think is really the Penalty for hurting Lions' feelings. So 116 left in the period, and they get the power play here. Their power play has been pretty bad, but it sounded like they worked on it quite a bit in the between the last game and today's game. 4 minutes though for a snow shower though, Timor. That seems a little bit. I would have figured that offsetting minors from that. Now what do we got? Oh yeah, there is indeed a penalty at the end here. What a strange little period. A little strange little ending to this period. We're gonna get a penalty on Buffalo. Benson using Darlene, holding Gooley to throw hands. Yeah, Benson has been Benson has been a thorn in their side, but he might end up hurting his team more than helping. So we're gonna have, I guess, a 4-on-4 for 44 seconds to start the second period. Is what it looks like. It looks like Darlene took the penalty at the end of the period there. Buffalo still thinks they're playing Boston. Very interesting little end there. Benson's annoying. I feel like we're Habs fans are gonna hate this guy for years. A real pest. All right, let me know what you guys think about the first period. The Habs kind of obviously gave up a shot, gave up a goal right away, but we're probably the better team the rest of the way. They probably made up for that play, that goal allowed. Curious to see what you guys think. The rest of us are intermission. I'm in intermission now. I'm a little behind, but I'm in intermission. Recovered from a slow start and now playing better than Buffalo. Carried most of the play, even the hits. If we bury more chances, we take this easily. But they haven't buried the chances, and I think they do need to get more guys in Lions' kitchen. Even though the time they tried to do it, they got a penalty. Bolduc did get a double minor. But thoughts? No ole ole says it all. David still feels like Cole's going to rise from his slump tonight. I hope so. I hope so for his sake. Get a little go, Habs go. Always good. Garrett Rank, the ref, has played many PGA Tour golf events. Great first period for the Habs. Really? Garrett Rank is a referee slash PGA Tour golfer. That's kind of fun. That's a nice double skill set right there. Both teams a little too much adrenaline to start. Buffalo was very lucky. David's going for a smoke. Always a good move. Nothing wrong with a nice smoke. Phil G says, period ended better than it started, expecting them to be fired up to start the second. Well, they're going to have a 4-on-4 for 44 seconds to start the second period, and then they go on a short little 116 power play. Garrett Rank is the new Chris Lee. Ouch. No greater insult for a unofficial, I would say. Buffalo started that period ending scrum for no reason. They're not as good at bending the rules to their whim as Tampa was. This is where a young team and a veteran team, you see the difference. Tampa was really good at picking their spots. Buffalo's not as good at picking their spots, I would say. They seem to get out of these things like with penalties here and there. Same seats for Wednesday's game, up by 350 from Friday's game in Buffalo. But yeah, not a bad period for the Habs. But man, I just feel like Lion is just ripe for the taking right here, and they just like are still trying that extra pass, and I'm like, you don't need to shoot high on Lion. He's not going to be able to handle it. He's going to give up rebounds. Buffalo's pretty good at clearing, but like you can still beat them. You can get in there. I don't understand. There's no reason why Slavkovsky and Caulfield shouldn't have 5 shots each in every game, and they just seem to be like, I know it's tighter in the playoffs, but like these are the moments. Caulfield's got 1 shot so far today. Slavkovsky's got none. Suzuki's got 4. Suzuki's playing well again. I think Suzuki's figured it out. But Caulfield and Slavkovsky are still like not where they need to be. And this game is a great opportunity to really bust out of it. And this goaltender that I just don't believe in for Buffalo. Like I just think that you can throw him off for sure. Newhook is on fire. I am so impressed with Alex Newhook in these playoffs. This is the guy that I thought that they would get. I never saw Alex Newhook as being this like elite scorer, but I was like, man, the guy's got speed, he's got character, he's got guts. I'm like, this is a kind of guy that he can be, a guy who goes hard to the net and makes things happen. And Newhook has really impressed me in these playoffs. Try putting Slav with Demidov. They tried that earlier for like a little bit in the Tampa series and did not follow through. Um, I guess, I mean, right now, the Demidov, like Newhook Evans line is pretty effective, even though like Demidov hasn't really factored in on those goals. But I guess Demidov got an assist on one of them, right, in the last game. But I guess that second line is now playing pretty well. So I think they're going to stay. So I think now they're really just like, look, the other lines are playing well. First line, you've been good all season. Just figure it out. Like it's time for you guys to be big boys. Put on your big boy pants and figure it out. Both Philly teams swept this weekend. Who's the other? What was the other Philly team? Oh, the 76ers got swept. That series already over. Slav and Coffee looking very timid out there. Yeah, they just seem like not. I don't even think that in this series they're actually getting like hit all that hard. Tampa series, sure, those guys were getting hit every second of every time, but like I don't know. Just right now, this Buffalo series, I feel like they have the space to score, and it's just like time to do it. It's game three. Newhook and Kirby are staying. I mean, Newhook's under contract for next year, so he was definitely staying unless they were going to trade him for something else. But yeah, it'll be really interesting to see what happens this offseason. I feel like they have a lot of players. I feel like they have more players coming in, and I feel like they want to get one more big player. So something's got to give. There's a lot of like players. They've got, they got to figure out where Montebo's gonna go. They got to figure out what they're gonna do with Jack Eye. They got to figure out what they're gonna do with Doc. And then they've got guys coming up. They've already signed guys like Texier, so like Texier's back. They got to give Bolduc a contract. Bolduc's contract is going to be interesting. I don't think he played well enough to earn a long-term deal, so I think he's going to get a short-term deal, another 2 years, unless he takes a really low contract and just wants the security of like 4 or 5 years. I mean, he might take the similar contract to the one that Newhook took, that 4 year, 3 mil per season deal. Slav looks concussed, and then Max says, "Well, he wouldn't be playing if he was concussed." Yeah, I don't know. I definitely took two big shots in the Tampa series. I don't know if that's still what's kind of ailing him. Uh, I mean, there could have been more on that hit from what was it, Mitchell Crozier, the one that knocked out Slavkovsky. It could have been more than a concussion. You know what I mean? It could be like a shoulder, or knee, or who knows, back. Like who knows what could have happened. But he hasn't really contributed since then. I will say. Um, every so often he kind of makes a pass where I'm like, that's a really nice pass, and then he'll follow that up with one of those blind passes into the slot that he likes to do sometimes, and I just wonder what the hell he's thinking. 12, 18, 30, 11. Who's next? Uh, I mean, now that they brought in a 93 guy, I wonder if they go back to another older cup winner or if they decide to go to a guy from the 2000s who didn't win a cup. It'd be really interesting to see if they try that. Marty doesn't panic, but he eventually gets it right. Trusts him. I just don't know like where else. Like the other lines are playing well, so I don't really want to mess up the other lines. And the first line has been so good all season that I'm kind of like, you guys just have to figure it out. Like stop, you know, just you're not getting out of this. Like just figure it out. The league has spotters and protocols to prevent him from playing. Yeah, if he was concussed, I don't think he would be out there. Slav has played a lot of hockey too at the Olympics. That's also a good point, and we don't want to make any excuses for him out here, as I'm sure he would not want to make any excuses. But he has. I personally, I think that's what happened to Kapanen. I think Kapanen played too much this year. Kapanen played so much last year. Kapanen played last year in Montreal, went back to Sweden, came back to Laval, played all that, and then this year played in Montreal, played a lot, went to the Olympics. I know he didn't play much in the Olympics, but he still went and played a bit and came back. I think Kapanen, that definitely happened to him. I think he wore out. Marner is hot with the Knights. Mitch Marner, sorry to say, Leafs fans, is a pretty good player, and frankly, uh, has played well in international competition for Canada, as far as I'm concerned. So I'm not sure that his bad play in Toronto was a him issue or if that was a Toronto the team issue. Macklin Celebrini was named captain at the World Hockey Championships at 19, the youngest in Canada history. A very and they did equip him. Like Ryan O'Reilly is an assistant captain, so they definitely have paired him with some good veterans for it. So they haven't like just let hung him out to dry. He's gonna have some good guys to be with here. So really excited to see what happens with Celebrini. I've already said it. You guys know. I said it. The 2028 Stanley Cup final will be the Canadiens versus the San Jose Sharks. I already predicted it. Of course they're staying, Karen says. I'm not sure how much Kirby will be offered, but he will accept whatever they offer. If they offer him the qualifying offer of just like 4 million for one season, yeah, I would imagine he takes that. It also sets him up for a potential, in his mind, a decent payday as an unrestricted free agent at the end of next season. If he signs for 4 mil this year and has a good season, he can make a ton in unrestricted free agency. So it's a very good opportunity for him to stay. The Canadians are in kind of a weird spot with Kirby because to use, I think they're going to be okay signing him for 1 year and just let him do a show me deal, um, because yeah, they're not gonna sign him to a crazy deal. I don't think. I don't think he's shown enough to get a long term deal. So I think a 1 year deal works well for both of them. And look, if he leaves, he leaves. It's not like the end of the world for this team, but I think at the end of the day, the Canadians need size, and Kirby Doc is right there. And I think the one thing that these playoffs have proved to me is that they think a lot more highly of Kirby Doc than we have as a gang. Um, so I do think that it was. I was looking at like his performance and being like, why would they keep him? But I think internally they're like, they're still big believers in him. Austin Matthews wants a change too. That's if he wants out, it's he's gonna have to like orchestrate it because that's a big contract, and even if teams want him, it'll be tough to take him. This summer, the Canadians will trade or sign a number two center. There are no number two senators. There are no number two centers really available. I will say, you guys should have a look at the unrestricted free agency list. There's not a lot going on there. It's not a very exciting. We were talking about Malkin last week. Malkin seems to me like the big option here. David Darcy says, I want Newhook to stay until he retires. The same with Josh. Hard to say with Newhook. Obviously, he has such a long career ahead of him. He's still a very young player. Josh will be interesting. He obviously a free agent at the end of next season. And his next contract will not be nearly as expensive as his current one. Although maybe not that much cheaper because the cap keeps going up. But I really don't see any reason why the Canadians would not want to bring Josh Anderson back. He brings size and strength. He can chip in a few goals. Extremely valuable player for them to have. I still think McTavish is coming. Mason McTavish. Who would you trade for McTavish? Out of McDavid would play with the Habs in a heartbeat. I don't think that McDavid is quite ready to move on from the Oilers just yet. Is my prediction, though. I will say. I don't know what's going on with Cole Caulfield, Steve Frost says, but he's not skating like he usually does. Oh, back for the second period here. Cappy plus. I do think Kapanen is potentially the guy to be traded in any trade, just because you have to give up something, and he's the kind of guy. If you acquire a second line center, you don't necessarily need to. Karen says Connor McDavid is leaving. Believe me, my God, could you, Karen? What an off season! Could we have an off season where Connor McDavid, Austin Matthews, and Brady Tkachuk all leave? That would be crazy. What a crazy off season that would be, Karen. What a crazy, crazy, crazy off season. I would love to see it. It'd be something else. All right. Well, the Karen says they're all leaving. Karen, if they all leave, that'll be the absolute most fun off season in the history of off seasons. It'd be unbelievable. I mean, Caulfield just missed like such an empty net there. This is getting unreal. It's gonna be unbelievable, but it's happening. Man, Caulfield is jinxed. Caulfield, damn. I mean, that was a complete empty net for Cole Caulfield, and he couldn't get it. He couldn't get it. I mean, he's just kind of on the bench. Cole's not looking like Cole right now. He's definitely looking like a guy who's wondering what the hell did he do to find himself in this mess at the moment. Still 1-1. Habs out shooting Buffalo 15-9. Can't believe that Cole Caulfield missed, Mark says. Maybe that's why they pass. They keep missing the nets and hitting the posts. Rick Wood says. Ray-Ban says Caulfield isn't usually bad in the playoffs. He's just snake bit right now. He's had 3 playoff ziz. This is his 3rd playoff ziz in his life. In the first playoffs, where he came out of nowhere, he was quite good. He got 4 goals in the Canadiens 2021 run, despite obviously having not really played at all, coming from college, and not being really treated very well by Ducharme. And then last year, I believe he had 3 goals in 5. Oof. Alex Tuck with a big takedown of Gooley in front of the net, but nice to see Gooley just kind of try to rope Tuck into something. And then, yeah, Caulfield had 3 in the last one. So Caulfield's not like has a track record of not performing. This has just been like, look, what can I tell you? He's not playing well. There's no doubt about that. It does not preclude him from playing well later, but it is discouraging to see. You can't allow Tuck to do that. I think the Canadians know that Buffalo could kind of be roped into penalties here, and I just think that they're like not wanting to get roped into things, Max. I just like they're not affected by this the same way they were affected by Tampa's stuff. Buffalo stuff is really like after the whistle and just like hasn't really had much of an effect on the play. So I think they're trying to like, oh yeah, sure, you want to like grab me and take me down? Like, great, we'll take the power play. Thank you. It's not like the Tampa series where the Canadians are getting like ragdolled and then like clearly being affected the next shift. So I think I think the Canadians ought to keep the eye on the prize a little bit here and not get roped into too much after the whistle stuff. Personally, Dobson through traffic I like. Dobson is a guy that I like shooting through traffic. Cole Caulfield had an issue with his return after shoulder surgery. Even if he was off by a millisecond, that affected his game results. Caulfield is off. At present, he'll correct the issue. I mean, scores like him are like, there is like a level of precision. Oof, Doc is really like, Doc is smarting on the bench. Uh, but he seems okay. 15-8 in faceoffs for the Habs, by the way. Not bad. What's with Tuck? He's just a big, nasty dude. He's a free agent at the end of the season. I think at the end of the day, unless he really doesn't want to go back to Buffalo, which would be weird because they're good and they're his hometown team, unless his like heart was already set on leaving. I'd imagine Buffalo are just going to pay whatever to keep him. Oh, Dobish really came out far for that one. That's going to be offside by a country mile. I mean, a very nice save by Dobish. Dobish is still very solid. Again, Dobish does not seem to get rattled by like if he allows a bad goal or if he has like a couple of shaky moments. It just doesn't seem like it lingers with Dobish the way that it does with some goalies. Caden Primo. Caden Primo. Jakub Dobish just seems like Doesn't seem shaken up by anything. He comes to the next shift, plays the exact same way he always plays. Ray Ferraro almost still sounds bitter talking about the Habs 93 Cup. It's crazy how many guys from that 93 playoffs are in media now and are super bitter about it. Kelly Hrudey has had it out for the Habs ever since then. Ray Ferraro's another one. You guys were talking about Demidov making mistakes earlier. Yeah, I look, it's his first playoff. I mean, he was in the playoffs, sure, in the Washington series, but like the first one with expectations and with other teams knowing him. And it's going to be a Habs power play. Well, this is a chance to take the lead here. He's on ESPN whining about it. I love it. I mean, that's an offensive zone penalty by Buffalo. All right, well, Cole Caulfield draws the penalty here. Can he score and at this point, I want him to score, Cole Caulfield, just so that we can stop talking about whether he's going to score. It's driving me crazy. Like, I get why we're talking about it so much because he's playing so bad, but I'm also like, man alive. I just like my brain is rattled about it. Caulfield again. Missed a great opportunity. Demidov misses a great opportunity. Still in the zone though. There you go. Finally. I know it wasn't a it was a power play goal, but we're just gonna have this, okay? Just let me have this and let us not talk about Cole for like 5 minutes. It's 2-1 Habs. What a goal. That was a kick-ass power play. Finally, Cole has come back to the score sheet. One for Cole. Said he'd score two. There it is, Timur said, and then kept scrolling. I didn't get the rest. Cole, lots of traffic and movement. Caulfield better buy Hudson a steak. That was a lot of great stuff by Lane Hudson. Who cares if it's a power play goal? A goal is a goal for Caulfield. Just a matter of time. And now this arena, you better believe, is going to go crazy. Finally did it. Oh my God. So annoying. That was took forever. If Demidov had a more accurate shot, it's time for him to go. Demidov needs to work with needs Dr. Shot in the offseason. Where's Dr. Shot at? Is he still around? Cole had a great try before the goal. I mean, the great try was the puck was a little wide open net and he didn't score. And I felt like, oh my God. Or do you mean before that? I mean, that whole power play was great. Now we need Demidov to pick things up. Let's get the Lane Hudson has 6 points, 6 assists so far. What an incredible player. We've talked about him being like truly the best player on the team, and I think it's fair to say that he is and already is. Maybe mentored by Malkin, we were saying. I mean, given the situation of second line centers, Malkin is one of the few options available. If he's even available. I mean, he's available in a sense, but I don't know. I don't know what it'll come to. Very nice shift for the third line here. Fourth line, I guess. Fourth line. Well, the officials are discussing right now. I thought, I mean, it doesn't matter if it went in if the whistle goes, but Lion never had it. If the puck was already in, I mean, it looks into me. We'll have to see the whistle. We'll have to hear the whistle though. I mean, it certainly didn't look like he ever had it, right? Yep, no goal in the end. That's bad luck for the Habs, man. Should have been 3-1. Now the refs are no challenge. I mean, it must have been explained to him. They're saying on the broadcast that it was clearly the refs explained it to him in a way where it's like, you will not win this challenge. Must be what happened here. I mean, to me, Lion looks pretty beatable here. I would just keep going hard. Timur, they're saying that they couldn't have challenged. That it wasn't a challenge. It wasn't the thing that they could challenge. Apparently. Oh, big save by Dobesh. Lion handed the puck to the ref. Your e-transfers are on the way. By the way, if you guys ever want to e-transfer me anything, no. I kid, I kid, I kid, I kid, I kid. Yeah, it wasn't that the particular of the whistle is not reviewable. Now maybe it ought to be reviewable, but it's not reviewable. So that's kind of what went down there. Yeah, these should be there are many things that they ought to review, but they don't have available right now. Timur, they could not review that play. It was not a reviewable play. That seems to be what they're saying on the broadcast. So I don't know what to tell you. Like that, the particularities of that play was not reviewable. Like you can't just review anything. Like they were saying that if the ref deemed that it was had, that then it was had. They seem to explain that they felt like Jano had moved the goalie's trajectory on that, and you can't review that. Habs have been better every period except one this series. They just can't make the big turnovers. Yeah, that's the thing, right? The Sabres have, when they've gotten a chance, they've taken advantage of that chance. I noticed on Gazette you installed flash pictures on the front page. No, they shouldn't be flash pictures. They're just little gifs on the front page. They shouldn't be flash. There's no such thing as flash anymore, is there? Adobe Flash. It should just be gifs. We can make gifs now on the front page. We can do. Glad Caulfield scored. He deserves an easy one, although I think he could have been a little more humble in the celebration. I didn't even see the celebration. Can't get distracted here. Got to keep pushing, Mark says. Other Mark says, our first line has spent a lot of time defending this game. Yeah, they still haven't had a very good game, I would say. Buffalo's trying to use their game two thug tactics, which just have not really worked. They're not as good at it as Tampa. Like Tampa really got, I think, had a good way of changing momentum and rattling the Habs. It didn't even work for them. They didn't even win the series. But Buffalo just doesn't seem it doesn't seem to be working this well at all. It just kind of puts them at risk for penalties, especially guys like Benson who just like I don't think they know what the limit is. So I can't say that Buffalo's attempts to intimidate the Habs are going to go over very well. They really ought to just use their size and speed to spend time in the offensive zone. I love Dobish's energies. The pictures change by themselves, or my CPU says, no, they're gifs. They move. They move. They move. The pictures move. Rick. There's like multiple. They're like the pictures will have like right now the live blog has like a red dot that goes like boop 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 boop. You're updating. Mm. Oh, man. Unreal goal. Unreal goal. Man, Bolduc's been so good. And Veleno gets his first assist, his first point of the playoffs. Guys, I think I don't want to be too confident about this series, but I just think the Habs are a better team than the Sabres. Now, I'm not saying that the Habs are going to win this series guaranteed, but I think they're just a better team. Now we're cooking with gas. I like that. I like that. Yeah, seriously. Hughes did a great job adding depth throughout the season. You know, we kept talking about like, oh, they didn't add anybody at in the trade deadline, but like Texier and Deno were two guys added during the season that basically count as deadline additions, right? Karen says, so happy to see Zach start to bloom. If he keeps it up, I might even forgive the Habs for trading Logan Mailloux. Well, that's high praise right there. Of course, the Habs will win the series and beat Carolina. Book it, Ray-Ban says. Oh my God, I don't think I'm ready. I don't think I'm ready to say that, but I am very impressed with these Canadians thus far. The depth players have really come through. Um, and I'm happy for Veleno, man. I'm happy Veleno has gotten in here and he's made his mark. And Carrier's got another one. Very impressed, man. The CH is the only team everyone fears facing in the playoffs. I don't know. Carolina's pretty scary, man. Did you see their social media? Carolina's social media, man, they really insulted the Flyers on the way out. That was brutal. Carolina Hurricanes were mean and nasty to those Flyers fans. Oh my goodness. Well, Dobesh having a good night. Habs are having a good night. The biggest move this year seems to be the goalie coaching change. It sure did. That was an interesting card they had to play because Eric Ramon was always, he was like a previous management guy. So it's like you could always just justifiably let him go if you wanted to. And they picked a great time to do it. And the new guy has definitely worked wonders with Jakub Dobesh. Ramp it up. Don't let them back in this. I mean, that's the other thing, right? This is a bit more of a run and gun series than Tampa. They can score 2 goals. Do not let them score 2 goals. Dovis was just run over. Sure was. Yoicks. I mean, Dobish seems fine. He gets out of trouble, but Jack Eye's in there. Hudson's in there. Bolduc is in there. Not cool. Not cool. Yeah, reminiscent on Kreider. It's definitely going to be another power play. It is indeed a Montreal power play coming up here. Yeah, Malenstein just nice to see Bolduc get in there though. He was quick to defend his goalie. Need to score online and embarrass the hell. Regular season game, that's a 5. 3-game suspension. Make them pay. Yep. That was a predatory hot to a vulnerable opponent. Let's bury them. We sure do all remember Karen when Price was run over, unfortunately. Keep Arbor on bench, score on power play. Oh yeah, that's definitely like these kind of moments don't benefit Arbor because they will the Habs will not want to be put in a position where there's a makeup or not a makeup call, but like an offset call. And it's 4-1. It sure is. Unbelievable. Uri Slavkovsky now the next one to get off the Schneed. Unbelievable. It is now 4-1 Habs. Just some nice passing on the power play. This one feels pretty cooked, guys. I feel like they're cooked. Buffalo looks pretty defeated. Slavkovsky and Caulfield have busted out of their slumps. It's happening now. Top line run. Game only half over. It's true. Only just passed. Cheap like Hagel and Dobson. Finish it off now. Stay off any nonsense. Slavkovsky has arisen. It's not even in front of the net. I know, right? Oh, Buffalo really trying here. Jack needs to wait to do anything. Yeah, he shouldn't do anything. Don't let Buffalo's not intimidating this team. Let them take stupid penalties, guys. I know you guys are like, oh, we gotta like fight fire with fire, but Buffalo's attempts at intimidating are not working at all. Let them take stupid penalties. Let them put a guy in a headlock. Like, who cares? They're not winning. The last thing you want to do is get dragged into something. Don't get dragged into it, I think. Exactly. Let's keep our composure. Half a game left. One more, boys. Yeah, let's make it 5-1 like last game. Buffalo will take more penalties now. Yeah, they just don't seem to have that, like... Tampa was really good. Tampa was really good at walking that line. These guys don't walk that line, I gotta say. Another chance. And you know what? Just like the last game, where Benson thinking he pulled one over on Dobesh was the turning point of the game. Once again, they think that they've like gotten in Dobesh's way, and it just totally backfired. Tampa also had Vasilevsky. Even if he wasn't his best, he still stole a game and played fairly well. The Buffalo does not really have. Apologies to Alex Lyon, who's had a very good playoff up until this point. The last two games, he has once again regressed into the, very competent journeyman that he's been in his career, but, he is what he is. He wasn't, he's their hamburglar. He was only going to do so much here. You couldn't count on him. Carolina, here we come. My son wrote that he had PSD from Kreider and Price. I was at a bar in Cambridge, Massachusetts tonight that happened, and I damn near shattered my hand on a broken, like almost shattered a beer mug and broke my hand. I was so mad. It did not happen. Thankfully, the glass stayed okay. I guess I'm a weakling. I can't break a glass, but rough must be seething. Just a shooting range for the Habs is 26-15 in shots. 26-16. Dobesh from Ohio State. Man, you love your Ohio State. Benson, once again in the middle of the action. This time he draws a penalty on Kirby Dach. I mean, he kind of gets his stick caught in Kirby Dach's big arms. But they're going to call that. They're going to call it. But it's 4-1 Canadiens currently. Things are going very, very well. The Buffalo Sabres are not the Tampa Bay Lightning. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that much. You guys are gonna jinx them with all your points about beating Carolina. Let's get through this series first. Remember, 4 games. It's true. It'll only be 2-1 if they win tonight. Doc didn't even try to hold the stick, but still got caught in there. The Buckeyes, yeah, Jakub Dobesh is an Ohio State Buckeye via Czechia. Very interesting trajectory for him. Lyon is a fine goalie. Montreal's playing well. What is your major malfunction? Alex Lyon is an okay goalie. He's like a career journeyman goalie. He's not a fine goalie. He's like an okay goalie. He's I mean, for many points of his career was not an NHL goalie. So let's like I'm not like insulting Alex Lyons. I'm just being real. I'm just being totally real about what he is. He was the backup. Not even the planned backup. Devin Levi wasn't ready yet, so he was like a brought in backup. Luukkonen, who's the real number one, didn't play very well, so they took him out. And Lyon's been on a little streak since then, but like Canes are playing well. But Lyon is not the goalie that's going to stand in the way of the Canadiens reaching the next round. If the Canadiens don't make the next round, it's because they completely implode defensively. You know what I mean? And well, that didn't take long. That was a quick goal right off the start of that Buffalo power play. Did not take very long. Dobish didn't even see it. Oh, Craig Simpson is so excited. He's so excited right now. Canes do need to watch out here. Clean the crease. Don't let them breathe. Dreaded 4-2 lead. Win or lose, those two guys got the monkey off their backs, Slavkovsky and Caulfield. Don't mention Carolina. We probably should not. We should not mention Carolina. That's. I do agree that they do. The Canes do have to make their way through Buffalo first. Buffalo didn't get here on a fluke. They are still a very good team. Anderson's still getting close. Buffalo didn't go away all season. They aren't going away this series. Yeah, no. They're here for a reason. They're not a fluke. They're not the Philadelphia Flyers, who were definitely a fluke, who got in, or the Penguins, who probably shouldn't have got in. Nice physical play by Doc here, but you gotta watch out a little bit. Stop with all this talk about the series is over. I believe in karma, Mark says. It's only a 4-2 lead. There's 26 minutes left, 23 minutes now. But yes, that is. Oh, there you go. And now Veleno. Now it's Veleno's turn to slide into the goalie. I mean, in this case, it was definitely Darlene who pushed Veleno into Lions. So in this, that's why there's no call on this one. They're not a fluke. They just beat Boston. That's all. That's yes. They're not a fluke. Buffalo's an excellent team. And then yes, Boston was I think for them a layup. Mark says anyone thinking the series is over is dead wrong. Not a chance this is over. Habs are sitting back, and that's a terrible idea. Get that goal back, Derek says. Bury one more, Ray-Ban says, and the game is over. Got about 2 minutes left in this period. And it's 4-2 Canadians. So the Canadians scored 3 unanswered goals to start the second period. Well, the third, after the third was answered, of course. They scored 3 goals in a row, we'll say, to start the second period. Power play goal for Caulfield. Bolduc 4 minutes later. And then Slavkovsky 2 minutes later on the power play. And then on their own power play, Rasmus Dahlin snuck a sneaky shot past Dobesh from the point, and makes it 4-2 is where we're at. What a terrible play by Slavkovsky, but he's down. It's going to happen here. He did draw the penalty nicely, I will say. Slavkovsky did. So what exactly? So Slavkovsky was dancing into the zone too much anyway, and I didn't much like it. Takes a high stick and sells it pretty good to the refs. But hey, a high stick is a high stick, and he did get high sticked. So it's going to be a Habs power play. And now they've got 2 power play goals on the night. Slav almost gave up the puck. Could have made the blue line, but turned back in the zone. Dumb plays. Dumb. It worked out okay, but yes, I totally, Bob, I was also screaming at my TV, being like, wait a minute. Get the puck out, you bum. Get into the neutral zone. But it's going to work out in the end for him. But yes, I hope somebody on the bench gave him a little tap and was like, hey. Not how you want to do it. All right, well, the Habs have 2 power play goals tonight. Can they get more? They are 2 for 4 on the night. Nice try by Caulfield. Nice try by Demidov. I mean, some nice passing on the power play here. I can't fault what they're doing right now. I can't fault what they're doing on the power play here. Threw the stick like a champ. Yeah. No, Slavkovsky. Hey, Slavkovsky did what he had to do, right? Had him beat. I know Slavkovsky, man, or Demidov. Oh, that was so much closer than it looked to. I mean, a couple of good chances here. Can they, in the final throws of this power play, get it in? Good chance. That's going to be that. Back to 5-on-5, but a good power play. And that not only is at the end of the power play, it's the end of the period. I mean, that's a pretty solid period here. Can't be too upset. Habs have been the much better team. They just need to keep it up. Marty's going to get the guys hyped up. Buffalo will come out desperate to begin the third. I mean, how can they not? I'm not saying that this is the series for either team, but the Canadiens going up 2-1 with another game at home and all that momentum, winning 2 games in a row, and Buffalo coming back in the series and leading. It feels like a huge difference. So Buffalo's I not this is by no means a series, but I do think there's a lot of momentum here that could swing. So let's see what happens. Things are going well. More of the same for the third. And I mean, I know it's both power play goals, but you got to be excited about Caulfield and Slavkovsky finally getting back on the board. Neither of them had scored in this series so far and had done much since really game one against the against Tampa. They hadn't really done much of anything, so it was a very, very important sequence there. One to go. Just play a balanced, no defensive shell, no sellout chances. I agree. Canadians win when they play a fast transition game. Keep playing the fast transition game. You will win. Buffalo will keep taking penalties. They haven't quite found that balance of being able to like be nasty but also stay out of the box in the way that Tampa did. Not that Tampa did all that well either. One question we got asked was why playoff tickets are so expensive in Montreal. Because that's what people spend their money on here, basically. Capitalism. It's what the market shall bear. There's nothing fair about things like that. People will pay what they pay, and people will charge what they can charge. Max says we need to tighten up a little bit defensively in our own end. Dobish has been all right tonight. He's made he's allowed 2 goals on 19 shots. But I agree with you. I find that Buffalo's had some opportunities here when they've been in the zone. It's a little more open ended compared to the Tampa series. So I would like to see them. You just don't want to give up a bad break goal to Buffalo in the third period. So you're really gonna have to I think really just play that fast transition game. Not Habs 91% win probability, 66% face off. All right. All right, my question, while I go on a quick break to go freshen my drink, are you confident that Slav and what's his name, Cole are back? Let me know what you think. All right, I'll pop back in. Okay, hello, hello, hello. So where was I? Are you confident that Slavin Kohler? Alex Lyons is taking the worst of the goalie hits. He's also smaller than Dobich. Dobich is just massive. Woo MFS. Who's MFS? Oh, like mother. Okay, I get you. Where's Harry and his comments on the dreaded 2-goal lead? I don't know, where is he tonight? Celebrating Mother's Day, perhaps. The third period will tell us more about Uri and Cole if they're back. Habs' chances are very good if they can keep the pressure up. Buffalo will implode. Max says not quite. Need to see a little bit more of those two guys. No odd man rushes in the third. Play the same game. Push the play. Yeah. Buffalo in game one really feasted on the odd man rushes. They can't allow any odd man rushes. Not yet. Those two guys need to reunite with Nick Suzuki as per the regular season. Next game should be the telltale sign. Sportsnet just said the refs should have called 5 on the Dobesh hit, and after review, it would have stayed a 5. Don't lay back, Derek Stevens says. Keep doing what got us to 4 goals. Skate, forecheck, get back, clog the neutral zone. That's a good strategy. Hope they do. Cole is old. What's his name? Now Cole has definitely looked better last 2 games. He looked. I mean, that post the last game really ought to have scored. So he's finally like back on the getting chances, right? Buffalo is a good team. They didn't get here by accident. It's true. Canadians, I think, for the most part in the 3 games have outplayed the Sabres. But the Sabres are still a good team. And it's definitely like the Caps cannot take them easy. So they have let teams get back into things. So they really ought to not do that in the playoffs. But I think the Canadians are in good spot right now. Lions definitely took the worst hit. I'd say his leg is really killing him now that he's off the ice. Um, Dark Lucas says, "Hi, bro. Go Habs, go." Hello, Dark Lucas. Good to see you. I'm beginning to think Dobesh is a bit of a nut, but aren't all goalies? Timur, this is the understatement of the century. Goalies are definitely a bit weird, and Dobesh has definitely proven to be a bit of a weirdo, but he's our weirdo, and he has just been fan freaking tastic, man. What more can we say about what more can we say about that player, about Jakub Dobesh? It's really quite. I don't know if you guys ever expected. I mean, some of you did. Some of you have been saying since Ohio State days, but it's really something. Patrick had Major Jam love Dobesh energy. Yes, Dobesh definitely has a little bit of Patrick Waugh in him, I think. Jack Guy played 114 in the second period. I don't get it. Honestly, I think they just didn't want the referees were looking to call stuff, um, and they ended up calling something on Doc. I just think that the way the game was playing. Also, there was a lot of power plays and penalty kills. Right? How many opportunities were there that period? There was quite a few. So there wasn't that many opportunities for Jack Guy to get in there, but I do think that they wanted to cool it on the Heat, because for the most part during these kind of skirmishes, Buffalo has taken the extra penalty. If Jack Guy's out there, he's definitely at risk to take the extra penalty. So I think you guys, like, I just don't think that this is a series where like the Canadians are being physically intimidated. I think Buffalo's just kind of getting into trouble. I don't know if you guys feel it the same way. Dobesh has a little hextall in him. I think Dobesh is going to try to score a goal at some point. So I definitely see it. After the game 2 panel, the jokingly calls Dobesh Billy Smith. I like that. Jack Guy's played 4-11 so far in this game. Yeah, I just think that the way the game has gone, the Canadians have scored. They've got a lead. Buffalo's trying to like start something. I think it's just like that's just what's going to be happening to the sixth defenseman here. They're just not going to play that much, whether it's him or Struble. That's clearly what's going on. And I don't necessarily disagree with it. Hopefully, just a little. I remember watching The Running Man in a theater in the 80s. When the goalie started shooting explosive pucks, the audience started chanting, Hextall, Hextall. That's really funny. By the way, the Canadians are. This is a fun little stat here for you guys. The Montreal Canadiens are a perfect 11-0 this year when both Cole Hudson and Uri Slafkovsky score. So, how about that? The dreaded undefeated stat. I know, right? Nice stat. Remember to hit the like button if you guys can find it. You guys have been hitting the like button hard, so don't worry about it if you do or don't. Great stat. Let's go 12-0. I know. Let's see what they can do. But I think when I said earlier that I was like the Canadians are a better team than the Sabres, I didn't mean like I want to be clear that like I'm not saying oh, this series is over. Like off to Carolina we go. I'm just saying, I think the Habs are just a better team than the Sabres. And if the Habs lose, I'd be kind of like, you lost to a team that's not as good as you, in my opinion. I think Buffalo's a good team. Don't get me wrong. They don't look as ready for the playoffs as the Habs do. I think they're a little messier. I think playing 7 games against Tampa will cure a lot of your problems, though. I will say. We got a 90.9 win probability. Again, the kiss of death, these undefeated. We need an early goal to snuff any chance of Buffalo momentum. An early goal will absolutely just like kill these guys, I think. I just don't think they've got. The third period will sum up the character of both teams. The Canadians have, man, you guys been here all season with me. You have seen the Canadians not protect leads very well. Um, and Buffalo is a team that can just power some goals in. So I totally agree with you here. The Canadians need to learn how to like finish off these opponents, and I think if Buffalo goes down 2-1, losing a couple of pretty big games, I think it'll definitely put things in a nice spot for the Habs here. We are getting very close to the third period about to start. Kyle Hagel and teammates were front row at WWE Backlash Tampa last night. They didn't look like they wanted to be there. No, I bet they wanted to keep playing hockey. Hagel looked really mad. at that post game. I don't know what's going to happen to that Tampa team, but I feel like they really like are doing a lot of soul searching. I believe we're better at holding leads in the playoffs. We don't need to protect the lead. We need to keep scoring and playing our game. That's true. They are a good. They'll come out like a wounded animal. By the way, we are back on. Back for the third period. Let's see what can happen here. I don't know why back to the. Did that one show up twice for you guys too? No, it didn't. Just me. No time to play back. Keep up the offense 100%. It's go time. Doesn't every team that loses a series? No. Tampa's different. I don't think there's some teams that do much. I don't think that like the the Flyers are doing much soul searching about losing to Carolina. I think those guys are fucking stoked that they even got a chance to play against Carolina. I don't think Boston is doing any soul searching after losing to Buffalo. I think they were just like, hey, we were happy to get in the playoffs. Ottawa's probably doing a little soul searching because I think they thought they'd be better. Um, Dallas, it just seemed like everybody was hurt. I don't think they're that. I think they're annoyed that another season got away from them, but I don't think that they think that their team isn't like well put together. If Carolina or Buffalo loses to Carolina, I don't think either team is doing any soul searching. I think both teams are probably pretty stoked with where they got. So, no, to answer your question, I absolutely don't think that every team does soul searching after losing. Do they not shake hands at the end of the PWHL series? That's weird. They should do that. That's a great tradition. I don't like hearing that. I wish they did do the handshakes. Need to play like we're behind. So far, so good. The first couple minutes here. No sympathy for the tax-free Florida teams. Well, they're both gone now. Well, so far it's been kind of like trying to get the puck in the zone, but Matheson's now been out a little too long. Got to get him out. Nice defense so far by the Habs. I like what I'm seeing. Losing a tight series is also tougher. That's true. Like the thing is, Tampa goes into that series being like, we need to beat the Habs. Whoever's going up against Carolina next series is kind of like, we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? Like they want to win, but like they're also, I think, somewhat cognizant of the mountain they may need to climb. We should get some odd man rushes soon, keeping the Sabres to the outside. Yeah, it's been pretty tight so far. Nice period so far for the Habs. First 4 minutes or so have not allowed much to go wrong. This is nice. Not a lot of noise. The Habs are keeping it pretty like quiet and a couple nice chances there for the Habs, but they just puck was bouncing. Puck was a little too hot there. Bad play by Hudson there. Yeah, it's just going to be Hudson in the end. I guess it's possible that Hudson might have been high stick there, but they're going to call it on Hudson, who kind of what was Hudson doing there? Backed off and took a penalty. Yeah, Mark, it was kind of weird. He kind of was like indecisive, and that was not good. He paid the price for being indecisive. He either should have like immediately started back checking, or he should have like aggressively called for the puck, and then hopefully the other guy gets it. But in the end, he kind of like hesitated, and Buffalo gets a power play, a well-deserved power play. Lucky for us, and only call one of the three. Yeah, because after he got called a penalty, he just kind of started manhandling the guy, which was a bit like, okay, he knows he's already going off, so he's like, I'm gonna get my extra shots in. I like that though. Well, this will be a big one if the Habs can kill it. Oof. God, Dahlin's got a hard shot. Well, they're a minute now into the power play, and they have not scored yet. But the power play is doing really. Their Buffalo's power play is looking really good, admittedly. Habs can't clear either. This one's getting a bit shaky here. Dobesh with the beached whale there and keeps it out. Massive, massive from Dobesh. Dobesh keeping him in here. Dobesh, amazing. Arbor's a Jekyll and Hyde kind of player. Yeah, if you set him off, man, he can. They're crashing the net, and the rest won't do anything. So we need to do the same. Look at Doan. Yeah, looking at the replay, Doan's there, Malmsteen's there. What a nice play by Dobesh to keep the puck out, man. Dobesh, top penalty killer tonight. He's Dobesh is looking skyward, being like, man, they put me to work tonight. Timur, you got to be lucky to be good and good to be lucky, right? Again, Dobesh somehow keeps the puck out. Oh, we have many emojis as they go back to 5-on-5. But back to 5-on-5, but still in the zone. They got to get it out. And they get it out. Okay. Very nice. Only 13 minutes left in this one. And the Habs are up by 2, and Buffalo just failed to score on a rather pivotal power play here. Slav had breakaway on his mind there and nearly coughed up the puck, but it was offside for Buffalo. They're using size and speed. Those two things that Buffalo has in abundance, more than any other team really in the league. They are such a big and fast team. It's really impressive to watch, and I think Tage Thompson, for all the guff he took from the local media in Buffalo about potentially being hurt and criticizing the media for asking him about it, I think Tage Thompson has played a little bit better today. He really looked out of sorts the last game, but he's playing with a lot of gumption today. We got to win some of these defensive faceoffs when short-handed. That penalty kill was a Chinese fire drill. I'm not aware. I'm unaware of what that. I don't know what a Chinese fire drill is, but anyways, we need a goal to keep the pressure down. 2 goals is a scary lead in a game like this where both teams are playing very, very, very fast and could easily score 2 goals rather quickly. Bend but don't break is how I would describe what Dobesh is doing tonight. He's been great. He's been really great. 13 minutes to go here. Dobesh's compete levels off the charts, or 13 minutes of no scoring. That would work. That would work as well. Goal by Canadiens is needed. Buffalo's a good teach, but I don't think they match up well with the Habs. Which is funny because I thought during the regular season when Buffalo was on their hot streak, I was like, ooh, Canes having a hard time containing them. But you know what? Canes won the last matchup they played, and it was definitely a difference. Ooh. Wow. Dobish again. This was the big effort from the Sabres, and they couldn't deliver. This could be the fall for balance of series, all courtesy of Dobesh. That was all Dobesh for sure. But they don't seem like they're giving up yet. They're still back in the zone. Another forum ghost. Our intensity is ever wow. This the another ghost is that stick that caused the icing to not be called, but it didn't make a huge difference in the end. But it was pretty funny. Pretty funny. No Olays we're hearing. No Olays, or you want to? No, you don't want to hear an Olay right now. We are indeed hearing the Olays. And that's that. Kirby Doc on a beautiful, beautiful rush here. It was after the 2-on-1. After the 2-on-1 that I think Texier hit the crossbar, and then Doc came in and finished the job. And this one is that you guys asked for a goal. You got your goal. It's 5-2. Somebody just shout out Rennie Bork. Shout out Rennie Bork, that one playoff where you were absolutely kick ass. It's 5-2 Canadians. Unreal. Doc looks like he got his contract. 10 goals the last 2 games. Ray Ferraro's depressed. Thank you, Kirby. They're stunned. Yo, this. I told you guys I thought the Buffalo team didn't look mad after losing the last game. They looked sad. They looked shell shocked. And they are once again have been stunned by a 5-goal outburst by the Canadiens. And the Canadiens look like they're looking for more here. Still not over. It's not, but things are going very well for the Canadiens. They're up 5-2. We're just past the midway point of the third period. Text TA. Send a text. Alexander to text TA. Need Demidov to score. Around the 2-minute mark, just put Arbor back out there. I keep saying the Habs aren't Boston. The Boston Bruins weren't very good. I will say. Get up, people. Ferraro is saying they should switch goalies. Well, Lions giving up 5 goals on 32 shots. I mean, suddenly, I mean, they should probably put Lucan in. I mean, they should definitely put in. Yeah. They should, what's his name? Utu Pek Lukanen? At all costs, defend the crease. Yes, that is definitely where I want to see. I don't want to see the Habs get into any rough stuff, but they definitely need to defend the goalie. Big time. We're gonna see the big Finn next game. I think so. I think he and Willie. I mean, he was good this season. He's not a bad goalie. He just I don't know. Didn't look good in game 1 and game 1.5 against Boston, so they took him out. But it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But for now, the Canadians, for a second straight game, get the 5 goals. They get the chicken wings, buffalo wings, if you will. And let's score one more. Yeah, you guys are insatiable. Best defense is offense. I want Dobesh to drop the gloves and beat the hell out of Benson. I think Dobesh could beat somebody in a fight. I think he could beat somebody in a fight. I don't. I hope we never. I hope we never see it, but I think he could. Let me get. Oh, let me get the. Sorry, I totally forgot to give you the goal here. And that is the third assist for Texier and the third assist for Deneau. Rickwood asks, "What's the goals against average and save percentage for Dobesh tonight or in the series?" Because I can't tell. I can't tell you what it is. I mean, what's the goals against and save percentage for Dobesh? I can tell you that entering the playoffs, it was entering the game. It was 214, 917. Playoffs. I don't know why you posted that. I thought only linesmen can call double minors. So there you go. Gooley gets 2 minutes. So I mean, Buffalo gets a chance here. There's 7:47 to go. It's certainly not over yet, but we'll see what happens. Good penalty kill again. We're seeing a good penalty kill. They're not scoring 4 goals on Dobesh in 7 minutes. It would be a tall order for Buffalo. I mean, they definitely need to score here if they want any chance at coming back. Great stick by the Habs. Empty net for Buffalo here. Sure is an empty net. And how good has Dano been, man, in these playoffs? That guy's turned back the clock in these playoffs. Unbelievable. Can Buffalo get anything going with the extra skater here? Five ten to go now in this third period. 5:10 to go. And Buffalo is trying to get back in this, but old Habs hockey clear the puck up the ice. UP enjoying a seat behind the Buffalo net. Our Pizza King, Phil Danault, tonight. Worth that second round draft pick. He sure was. Unbelievable, man. I mean, it goes to show you that in the playoffs, you never know who's going to step up. And I guess Phil Deneau, I think we all knew he'd probably step up, but he's turned back the clock, man. He looks outstanding. Yeah, worth every penny of that second round draft pick. Second round draft picks ain't worth much. Oh my God, Karen's had 3 drinks plus a gummy. Oh my goodness, that's a good amount right there. Deno's beauty. Timur doesn't like Yuppie. Timur, what's wrong with Yuppie? Yuppie's fun. The kids love him. Some were complaining when we got Deno. They're pretty quiet right now. It was not a unanimously praised move. I'll tell you that much. Imagine how grateful Marner's to get on Toronto. Not sure what this has to do with anything, but I know he was great last night. Dano earning his money defensively. That is all that he's paid to do. He's not paid to score. But he's got an assist tonight, and he's got 3 assists in these playoffs. Shut him down, boys. Do it for Dober. Until next game, the Munchies. Indeed, Ryan, the net remains empty, and a big chance for the Habs to really just put this bad boy to bed. 5 minutes to go. Torch was awesome sticking up for Marner. Oh, Torch knows exactly what he's doing there. And this game is very, very, very over. Gets chipped out. Who else but Alex Newhook gets tripped up, but they're going to give him the goal anyway. Newhook, empty netter. 6-2 Habs. Now it's over. Now it's over. Now we can all laugh and relax. The Canadiens have kicked the bejesus out of the Buffalo Sabres 2 straight games. Not even close. 5-1. It's now 6-2 in this one. The Canadiens are kicking the crap out of Buffalo. How are you guys feeling? New York showing his value. Jack Eye time. 5 goals in his last 4 games for New Hook. That's crazy. And Suzuki and Evans are going to pick up assists. And Jakey Evans got 4 assists. He's been great, man. I gotta admit, Jake Evans has really like turned up here. I mean, I'm not surprised. Jake Evans is a solid player, but he's been really good, man. Jake Evans and Phil Deneau are pretty much what you want in a bottom 6. Emptying the net, a surefire strategy for desperate times. Yeah, sure thing, Florida. You got to do what you got to do when you're desperate, like Buffalo though, and they're still going at it here, and they've Jack Eyes in front of the net, mean in business. Glad for the lunch pail crew. That's a good way to. Another chapter to the legend of Dobesh. We weren't losing on the 47th anniversary of the Too Many Men goal. Is it really the 47th anniversary? That's hilarious. Arbor time. I mean, he was out there. If Buffalo does something, Sabres are a very young team, especially in offense. Zero experience in playoffs. Pressure is evident. Not the same regular season team. They look, once again, really. I will say they look a little madder this time than the last game. They looked just sad. This time they look a little madder. Feeling like a teenager again. Is this series giving you guys life? Let me know. Let me know if you feel like it's giving you life. I mean, Texier is a good guy to have in the zone if you just want to waste some time. What an outstanding What an outstanding performance by the Habs tonight, guys. I just think that Buffalo's gonna have to Buffalo's gonna have to really dig deep, man. After 2 losses like that, what do we got? Some fisticuffs. Doc is involved. Logan Stanley's a big chooch. Gooley and Benson. Benson, you knew he was gonna get involved in something. I mean, Gooley. I look. Gooley laughing at Benson. I like it. Benson's man, he's a real pest. He's a real Gallagher, Marchand mold. Valeno really tried to take a run at Josh Doan. Oh, I love it. No, I'm liking this end of the game silliness. Buffalo knows it's over. They will begin the thuggery, but I think the Habs stood up for themselves in a pretty good way here. They can't win by skill. No, they're definitely just like a little bit less depth than the Habs. They got some good depth, but they're running out of bullets here. Benson doesn't really want to go with Gooley. Norris with the cheap shot. Leading the second round. Life is good. Nice right hook on Stanley by Doc. Doc's got, I mean, he doesn't drop the gloves much, but he's such a big guy. I mean, to be fair, Stanley's an even bigger guy. But so what happened here? Did guys get. It looks like we're just going to be even. It's not like penalties are carrying over, so who cares? We're gonna live rent free in their minds now. No pad time. Benson, little ball of heat. He's the next Brad Marchand. I feel just watching him play. He's gonna be a pain in the ass for years to come. Yeah, we got multiple penalties here. Who's going off? So the Habs get a power play. Surprised that 6'6" Greenway remained silent all series. Well, he did. Did he manhandled Caulfield in game 1 or 2? Yeah, he can't do that. Can't do that. And then Greenway did score a goal in the game 1 win. So Greenway was a factor in game 1, less of a factor in game 2, and not a factor in game 3, where really nobody was in Buffalo wasn't much of a factor. This has got to be a pretty dispiriting game if you're Buffalo. You definitely got to go back to the drawing board here. Were those really fights when nobody dropped the gloves? No, I assume they all got like roughing calls. Goosebumps. Jack Guy will play the rest of the game. I thought Buffalo would be tougher than Tampa too. It ain't over. They play a style that matches better with ours. Yeah, Buffalo. Hey, Buffalo's not over yet, but man, 5-1 and 6-2 are pretty oh, not great. Okay, can we just end this game pretty fast? This one's pretty much over. Habs on the PP. Oh, I should say that the Habs are on the PP. Now you can Ole. Well, now you can definitely have a 4-goal lead with 2 minutes left in the game. You can Ole, right? Now it's a comfortable Ole time. I mean, I like that they're still trying to score here with their top unit. It's not like these have been close games. It has not been close games. Buffalo's got to really like think a little bit here about like what do we want to do the rest of the series, because we have not been able to intimidate the Habs up until this point. We've tried to take the goalie out of the series, hasn't really worked. There you go. Ole your hearts out. Whatever they're paying Marco Marciano, it's not enough. In my opinion, it was too early to pull the goalie. I am inclined to agree. But man, they were down 3. What do you do? You need to get something going. And you just failed to score on a power play. Jack Guy taking a shot. You love to see it. We're in the final, well into the final minute here. Not much time left. Sure enough, there's Jack Guy in the final minute. In the final seconds, just as we suspected. And somebody's down, and here we go. Gathering of the Now, is this game actually over? Because they stopped the clock and then they just kept it going. And then they turned it back on again. They're like, let's just end this thing. This series is far from over, Alwis, was the man says. But honestly, do any of the remaining goalies in playoffs strike any fear in you? Anderson has played well before, but has choked before. Carrick was KO'd. Awesome. Nice skirmish to end things. Buffalo come back even more frustrated next game. Oh, Carrick just got booped. Dobish, as far as I'm concerned, is the Habs' first star once again. Well, thank you guys so much for joining. We won't leave you just yet. I will just update our little I mean, that was not even close tonight. If I'm being honest, that wasn't much. The Sabres did not show much tonight. Whatever y'all want to say. I'm not saying it's over by any means, but they definitely have put Buffalo on the ropes, I think. Like Buffalo's allowed 11 goals in the last two games. They got to they're going to have to switch their goalie. They're going to have to hope that guy can play. There's one more game in Montreal where they just got noised out of the building. Thank you so much. Beautiful right hook. Anderson's choker will choke in Carolina. Anderson is a loser, just like Lion. Oh, you're talking about Freddie Anderson. I thought you were talking about Josh. And I was like, wait, what did Josh do? See you at the next one. I'll see you at the next one, Mark. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much, Karen, for joining. Can't wait to see what hat I wear on Tuesday. Guys, should I wear that same hat or should I wear a different hat? Let me know if you think I should wear this hat or a different hat. Maybe a different hat. But yeah, I don't know what Buffalo's got left in them, to be honest. I mean, I don't think it's done, but so let's talk a little bit about what we've got up coming up for you guys. So tonight is Sunday night. We'll have Herb's hidden game in about an hour for you guys. Right now, you can go and check out the Liveblog replay on the. We got Keep the Gazette swag. I will keep the Gazette swag then. And unless somebody says no, can we buy that hat online? I think you can. I think it's available on the Post Media website if you go. Um, oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for the compliments. I will see you guys Tuesday. Probably. I have a pre-existing commitment. We'll see what happens, but I'm gonna see what I can do. Okay, see what I can do. Keep the Gazette hat. I'm told. Okay, well then I will do that. But yeah. So hold on. So we got the live blog replay. It's available right now if you want to watch it. And then let's do it. Yeah, Post Media website, MontrealGazette.com. I think got the swag store. And then you can go to the About Last Night tomorrow morning. I believe Stu's filing as well tonight as well. You got a story from Stu. And then tomorrow morning, we're going to have our What the Puck video. We were on site at the Bell Center getting all the action. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be a great video. So please stay tuned for that. And yeah, let's see each other all on Tuesday. Probably. If something comes up, I will let you know if something comes up. I do have a pre-existing commitment, so we'll see what goes on. Okay, everybody says keep the Gazoo hat. I'm keeping the Gazoo hat on. So thank you guys so much for coming. It was a lot of fun. Please stay tuned to the Montreal Gazette all week. We're gonna have all the coverage that you want. Go Gazette right now. You can watch PK Subban talking about his $10 million donation. All kinds of fun stuff. Uh, let's not let Carolina have too much time off. Is what a great way to end this tonight, Derek. I love it. Carolina's going to get a 2 week break if the Habs let this series linger. Let's not let this series linger. Let's take them out on Tuesday and let's go back to Buffalo, end the series. Thank you so much. Have a good night. I'm keeping the Gazette hat until they lose, and maybe they'll never lose again.